You are a ghost hunter. But you do not hunt spirits in old houses. You hunt dead signals in the forgotten dark between stars. Your ship is the Stardust Drifter. It is a small vessel, cramped and smelling faintly of ozone. It is your only home. For 3 weeks you have chased an echo, a signal that should not exist. It repeats a simple, ancient code, a human code from the age of expansion, an age of myths and legends. Your ship's computer tags it as degraded, corrupted, impossible. The signal's point of origin is a place called the Cerberus Void, a dead zone on all modern star charts. No one has gone in for 1,000 years. No one has come out. But you are not like most people. Curiosity is your curse and your currency. The signal whispers of a great prize, or a great secret. Your fuel is low, and your food is recycled paste. You have just enough to get there. Getting back is a problem for another day. This is the kind of gamble that makes you feel alive. The void lives up to its name. It is an unnerving emptiness, a patch of space where the stars themselves seem afraid to shine. Your sensors are screaming about gravimetric distortions. Your gut is screaming that you should turn back. You tell them both to be quiet. The signal is stronger now, a steady pulse in the deep dark. It is pulling you forward, a siren song for the lonely and the lost. A proximity alert shatters the quiet hum of your ship. It flashes red across your console. You are no longer alone in the void. A vessel appears from a shimmer of bent light. It is long and sharp like a shard of obsidian. Its design is unfamiliar and deeply aggressive. You do not need to check the ship registry. You know exactly who it is. The Cathar Dominion, an old and arrogant empire. They believe they are the true heirs of the galaxy. Everyone else is just squatting in their space. A channel opens without your permission. A distorted, guttural voice fills your cockpit. It is layered with contempt and impatience, the voice of a bully with a much bigger ship. This is a restricted military zone, the voice growls. Your presence here is a violation. State your identity and purpose. You think about a few clever responses, but you settle for polite and boring. You are a humble trader. Your navigation system must be malfunctioning, a classic defense for being somewhere you should not be. The Cathar is not amused. Your primitive ship is an offense to our sensors. Your lies are an offense to our intelligence. Leave this sector now, or be erased from it. The channel closes with a snap of static. The Cathar ship just waits there. Its weapon ports are visibly glowing, daring you to make the wrong move. The ghost signal pulses again. It feels closer than ever. You cut your engines. You power down everything non-essential. Your ship becomes a piece of cold, dead metal, a tiny asteroid floating in the black. It is an old trick, but sometimes the classics work. The Cathar ship holds its position for a long time. It scans the area again and again. It is looking for your engine signature. It finds nothing but silence. Eventually, it seems to give up. The ship turns with a slow, arrogant grace. It shimmers once more and vanishes. You let out a breath you did not realize you were holding. That was too close. You wait a full hour before bringing your systems back online. The Cathar might be arrogant, but they are not stupid. They could be waiting just beyond sensor range. But the ghost signal is a fire in your mind. It calls to you from the heart of the void. You push the throttle forward. Your small ship leaps ahead, deeper into the forbidden darkness. You are past the point of no return now. Whatever you find, you are in this until the end. You feel a strange sense of peace in that. And then you see it. Your ship drops out of faster-than-light travel. The signal source is right in front of you. It is not a planet or a station. It is a ship. A ghost ship from the pages of human history. It hangs in the void like a steel coffin. Silent. Dark. Impossibly large. Its hull is a maze of strange angles and weapon emplacements. It was built for a war you cannot imagine. This is a ship from the lost Armada, humanity's greatest fleet. They vanished without a trace 2,000 years ago. Legend said they flew into the heart of a nebula. Some said they found a gateway to another realm. The truth is much larger and much more terrifying than you can see. You are staring at the tomb of humanity's forgotten giants. Your little ship is a fly buzzing around a sleeping titan. The scale is breathtaking. The ship before you is not a cruiser. It is a moving fortress, a city designed for destruction. There are no lights, no energy readings, nothing but the faint, repeating ghost signal, the automated distress call of a long-dead crew. You check for the Cathar again. The space around you is empty. You have to go inside. This is the discovery of a lifetime, maybe the discovery of the millennium. You guide your ship toward a massive hangar bay. Its doors are sealed shut, but one of them has been damaged. A huge gash runs down its side, an opening just large enough for your ship to slip through. It feels like entering the mouth of a great beast. The hangar is a cavern of metal and shadow. Dozens of smaller fighter-class ships are docked in neat rows. They are covered in a thick layer of space dust, untouched for centuries. You land your ship in an empty berth. The silence is absolute. It presses in on you from all sides. You put on your environment suit. The air in here is probably not breathable anymore. You step out onto the deck. Your boots echo in the immense space. You feel small, insignificant. The architecture is all wrong. The walkways are too wide. The control panels are too high. Everything is built for beings much larger than you. Were your ancestors giants? Or did they just have a flair for dramatic interior design? You suspect it is a bit of both. You find a doorway leading into the ship's interior. It slides open with a whisper of ancient mechanics. The corridor beyond is just as vast. Emergency lights flicker on as you pass. They cast long, dancing shadows down the hall. Every footstep is an intrusion, a disruption of a 2,000-year-old slumber. You feel like a trespasser in a sacred tomb, which is exactly what you are. You follow the signs for the command bridge. But something draws you aside. A side corridor labeled Engineering Archives. The door is partially open. A faint light spills out from within. Your curiosity wins again. You push the door open and step inside. The room is a library of data crystals. Most are dark and inert, but one console is still active. It shows a single, looping file. You access the file. It is an audio log. A woman's voice fills your helmet. She sounds tired but calm. Resigned. Chief Engineer Anya Sharma, final log, she begins. The experiment was a success. Maybe too much of a success. She pauses for a long moment. You can hear the low hum of a ship's engines in the background. A ship that is very much alive. We built a weapon to end all wars. She continues. We called it the final silence. We thought it would bring peace to the galaxy. Her voice cracks with an emotion you cannot name. It sounds like regret mixed with awe. It does not destroy ships. It does not kill people. It does what its name says. It silences them. She describes how it works. A wave of pure information. A signal that overwhelms non-human consciousness. It disconnects their minds from reality. For them, the universe simply stops. We tested it. Just once. At the lowest possible power. The log ends with a warning. A plea. We have to contain it. The power is too absolute. We are taking the fleet into the void, to become the guardians of this terrible peace. This is our final duty. Sharma out. Your blood runs cold. The ghost signal you followed. It was not a distress call. It was a leak. A faint echo of the final. Silence. And you have led the Cathar right to its source. As if on cue, your suit's comm system crackles to life. It is your ship's proximity alarm. It is screaming at you. You race back to the hangar bay. Your heart is pounding in your chest. You look out the gash in the hangar door. You see more than just the Cathar patrol ship. A new vessel has arrived. A full Dominion battlecruiser. It is a monster of a ship, bristling with cannons and missile tubes. It must have followed the patrol ship's wake. The cruiser hangs in space before the ancient dreadnought, a predator assessing its prey. A new voice broadcasts on an open channel. This one is clear and sharp, dripping with authority. Unidentified vessel. You are trespassing in a Dominion quarantine zone. You are in possession of a forbidden human artifact. The voice pauses for effect. Surrender the artifact and yourselves immediately. Your cooperation will be noted. You know what that means. It means they will kill you quickly instead of slowly. There is no escape. Your little ship is trapped. The Cathar cruiser's weapon ports slide open. They glow with a hungry red light. They are not asking, they are demanding. Your mind races through a dozen impossible plans. None of them end well for you. You are backed into a corner. On one side, an arrogant alien empire. On the other, a ghost ship holding a terrible secret. You look at the vast, silent hangar. The dormant fighter craft. The huge, empty halls. You have to do something. You cannot let them have this ship. You cannot let them have the final silence. You run from the hangar, back into the heart of the ancient vessel. You race back to the engineering archives, but you run past it. You follow the signs to the ship's main reactor. Maybe you can cause a meltdown. Deny them their prize by destroying it. It is a desperate, suicidal thought, but it is better than surrender. The corridors seem to stretch on forever. The ship feels like a labyrinth. You find a small, active terminal near a power conduit. It looks like a simple diagnostic station. Most of its functions are locked, but one is available. System-wide diagnostic broadcast. It seems harmless enough. A low power pulse to check the ship's network. You wonder why it is even an option. In a moment of pure desperation, you activate it. A deep hum resonates through the deck plates. It is a sound so low you feel it in your bones. The lights in the corridor flicker, then burn brighter. The ancient ship is stirring. It is waking up. On the terminal, a single line of text appears. Broadcast initiated. Power level, 0.01%. It feels anticlimactic. A whisper instead of a shout. But a whisper can be enough. Through a viewport, you watch the Cathar cruiser, and you see the impossible happen. The brilliant red lights of its weapon ports flicker. They sputter and die. All across the cruiser's hull, lights begin to fail. Entire sections of the ship go dark. It lists to one side like a wounded animal. It looks confused. Wounded. The hunter has suddenly become the hunted. The effect is not permanent. The cruiser's lights begin to stabilize. Its systems seem to be rebooting. But the crew has felt it. The whisper of humanity's wrath. A ghost had reached out from the past and touched their minds. It had shown them a glimpse of the void. And they were terrified. They had tasted the final silence. The Cathar did not know what hit them, but they knew it came from the ghost ship. Panic replaced their arrogance. Their retreat was not graceful or organized. It was a frantic, clumsy scramble. The cruiser's engines fired erratically. It fired a single, wild energy blast. The shot flew wide, missing the dreadnought by kilometers. It was a shot fired in pure terror. Then the cruiser turned and fled. It tore a hole in space and vanished. It ran as fast as its damaged drive could carry it. A moment before it jumped, your comms picked up a fragment of their transmission. It was not a report. It was a scream, a jumble of panicked, screeching voices. You could not understand the words, but you understood the feeling. Primal fear. You also heard one clear phrase: "Call the main fleet. The immediate threat is gone, but a larger one is coming. The Cathar will be back, and they will not come alone. They will bring everything they have." You are standing in the silent corridor of the ancient ship. The low hum has faded. The giant has gone back to sleep. You have a choice. Run now in your small ship, or stay and unlock the secrets of this place. The answer is obvious. You never could resist a good secret. You need to get to the bridge. You need to understand what this ship truly is. You follow the grand, empty corridors upward, through the heart of the vessel. Each deck is a new layer of mystery. You pass barracks built for 1,000 soldiers. You see mess halls that could feed an army. You see training rooms with strange, forgotten equipment. This was not just a ship. It was a world. Finally, you reach a set of massive, sealed doors. A single inscription is carved above them. The burden of knowledge is the price of peace. This is the entrance to the bridge. The doors slide open at your approach. They reveal a space that takes your breath away. It is not a bridge. It is a temple. A vast, circular room with a ceiling that shows a perfect image of the stars outside. In the center of the room is a single chair, a command throne. It sits before a sweeping console of black, crystalline material. The air here feels different, heavy with history and purpose. You walk to the throne and run a hand over its cool surface. You are standing in the command center of the lost Armada. Here, you will find the answers you seek, or you will find your own end. You touch a control on the main console. It flickers to life at your touch. The ship seems to be responding to you, accepting you. The console displays a welcome message. Administrator access granted. Please state your query. You hesitate for a moment. Then you speak the question that burns in your mind. Show me the history of the Armada. Show me everything. The black crystal of the forward view screen illuminates. It does not show you data or text. It shows you images, memories, the ship's final mission log. You see a proud fleet of hundreds of ships, the greatest fleet humanity had ever built. You see their admiral, a woman with kind eyes and a will of iron. You see the crew, brave and determined. They are not preparing for a war with aliens like the Cathar. The log reveals a truth far more disturbing. They were facing an enemy from outside of known space, a foe that did not use ships or weapons, a psychic entity that fed on consciousness. The logs called them the Shroud, a horror that could turn entire worlds mad with a whisper, an enemy that could not be fought with lasers or missiles. The Armada was not built to fight the Shroud. It was built to contain them. They had tracked the entity to this sector, the point where the veil between realities was thin. The final, silence, was their cage, a weapon designed to sever the Shroud's connection to this universe, to erect a permanent wall between their reality and ours. The log shows the final moments. The Armada gathered in a tight formation. The Admiral gave the final order. For everyone we leave behind. For the peace they will never know they have. The ships activated the weapon in unison. A wave of silent, invisible power erupted from the fleet. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath. The Armada did not fall in battle. It was a self-imposed sacrifice. The ships became the lock. The crew became the key. They built a prison and threw themselves inside with the monster. As the final log entry fades, a new alert blinks on your console. It is a proximity warning. Dozens of new contacts are entering the system. They are moving in perfect formation. Their energy signatures are unlike anything you have ever seen. They are not Cathar. The log has a name for them, a name spoken with dread. The Glassmakers. The view screen switches to an external view. You see the new fleet. They are beautiful and terrifying. Their ships are made of a crystalline material that refracts the faint starlight. They look like sculpted glass daggers. A hail comes through on all frequencies. It is a cold, synthetic voice. It is emotionless and absolute. Unscheduled reality breach detected in Quarantine Sector 7. Commencing sterilization protocol. The Glassmakers are the galaxy's janitors. They deal with threats that are too big for normal empires. Reality bleeds? They cauterize the wound. They are not here to fight you or talk to you. They are here to burn this entire system to ash. They will trigger the local sun to go nova, a cleansing fire to erase the Shroud, the Armada, and you along with it. Their ships are already moving toward the sun. You have very little time. You stand on the bridge of the ancient Titan, trapped between two impossible forces. The Glassmaker fleet outside is preparing to erase this star system. The psychic horror, the Shroud, is still contained within its prison. The low-power broadcast you sent out must have been the reality breach they detected. A crack in the cage. Your clumsy desperation has doomed them all. You have 3 terrible options. Each one is worse than the last. First, you could run. Jump in your small ship and try to escape the system. Hope you can outrun the shockwave of a dying sun. You would be leaving the Armada's secret behind. Leaving the Shroud to whatever fate the Glassmakers have planned. It is the coward's way out. But it is a way out. Second, you could do nothing. Let the Glassmakers complete their mission. They will destroy the sun. The resulting nova will sterilize everything. It might destroy the Shroud, or it might shatter the Armada's prison, unleashing the psychic horror on an unsuspecting galaxy. You would be gambling with trillions of lives. Then there is the third option, the craziest, most dangerous option of all. You could use the Armada. You could activate its systems, wield the power that has slept for 2,000 years. You could unleash the final silence. You do not know what that would do, but it would certainly get everyone's attention. It is a choice born of desperation, a choice that could make you a savior or a monster. The Glassmaker ships reach the sun. They form a perfect ring around the star. Beams of energy connect their ships. They are building a containment field, preparing to destabilize the star's core. The countdown has begun. You have to decide now. Your eyes fall on the engineering logs from Anya Sharma, the woman who built the weapon. You pull them up on the main console. You need to know what you are dealing with. You read her notes, you study the schematics, and you understand. The final. Silence is not a weapon of mass destruction. It is a tool of surgical precision. It does not cause physical harm. It is a focused wave of information, a signal tuned to a specific frequency, the frequency of non-human, psychic consciousness. It attacks the very foundation of their being. To the Shroud, it would be an unbreakable wall, a wave of static that drowns out their thoughts. To the Cathar, the brief exposure was like staring into infinity, a moment of total sensory and cognitive overload. Their minds simply shut down in self-defense. It does not kill, it disconnects. It unmakes a mind from its physical shell. It is the ultimate shield, a defense against a kind of war that no one else remembers fighting. The glassmaker ships begin to glow. They are pouring energy into the star. The sterilization is imminent. You cannot fight them. The Armada was built to be a prison, not a warship. Its conventional weapons have been offline for millennia. Trying to fight would be suicide. Running in your own ship is also suicide. The Nova will expand faster than your ship can fly. There is only one path left. A desperate gamble recorded in the ship's deepest logs. An experimental FTL drive. The Armada was designed to make a single, final jump. A jump that no one had ever attempted before. It does not travel through space. It punches a hole in the fabric of reality itself. A blind, violent tear into the unknown. The logs call it a fold, jump. The drive was never meant to be used. It was a last resort. A fail-safe if the prison ever broke. Using it is incredibly dangerous. It could tear the ship apart. It could drop you in the heart of a star, or it could take you somewhere else entirely. Somewhere safe. Somewhere far away from the Cathar and the glassmakers. You place your hands on the command console. The ship hums in response. It is waiting for your command. You initiate the sequence. The entire ship groans around you. The sound of a giant waking from a long, deep sleep. Energy flows through systems that have been cold for centuries. The core reactor spins up. A deep, resonant hum fills the bridge. On the view screen, you see the glassmaker fleet. A halo of brilliant light now surrounds the star. They are seconds away from finishing their work. You target a destination, a random point in the deep, unmapped void, as far from here as the drive can take you. A final warning flashes on the console. Fold jump will cause catastrophic structural stress. You smile grimly. Catastrophic stress is your new normal. You push the final control. Execute, you whisper into the silent bridge. The world outside the view screen dissolves. Reality twists and contorts. The stars smear into lines of impossible color. The ancient dreadnought shudders violently. Alarms blare across the bridge. It feels like the ship is being torn apart atom by atom. Through the chaos, you see a final image. Lances of pure, white energy striking the space where you were just a moment ago. The glassmakers have fired. They are too late. Then, silence. The shaking stops. The alarms die. The view screen clears. It shows a new star field. Unfamiliar constellations hang in a sea of black. The jump was a success. You are somewhere else. Somewhere unknown. The ship is damaged but intact. You are alive. You are alone. A single human soul aboard a ghost ship from a forgotten legend. You have escaped. But you have taken the Armada's greatest secret with you. You have its history, its power, its burden. Back in the Cerberus void, the Cathar will report a hostile ghost. The glassmakers will report a reality breach that vanished. To the rest of the galaxy, you do not exist. You are just an echo, a dead signal, a ghost story whispered in the deep dark. And your journey is just beginning.